So see guys, we are going to start jet propulsion now, and some flows are remaining still in gas dynamics that we'll do later, and like oblique shock wave formulas and concept, moving shock wave formulas concept, they are remaining. So freshly we are starting jet propulsion, and now see, if you have any aircraft to fly, aircraft will move in this direction, then only it will fly. What happens when aircraft is moving in this direction? Air passes over the wing, and when air passes over the wing, it produces some lift. How passing air can produce lift? So little concepts from aerodynamics. If I cut the wing like this, suppose this is a bigger wing, and if I cut the wing like this, then I see the cross section, it will look like this. This is the cut part of the wing. This cross section we say as airfoil. Like this is called triangle, circle, ellipse. In same way, in our aerospace department, this is called airfoil. Now for airfoil, we have two English spellings. Sometimes we say airfoil, sometimes we say aerofoil. So any one of them is UK English and one is American English. I'm not sure which one is UK, which one is American. So either you say airfoil or aerofoil. So in our airfoil, what is the best part? Whenever fluid is flowing over the airfoil, it will generate lift. How will it generate lift? This I will explain in aerodynamics class. Our now job is to make this plane to successfully move in this direction. So aeroplane can move in this direction. For that, what do? We attach one engine below the wing. We can also attach engine anywhere, above the wing or on the tail somewhere. We attach our engine below the wing. So this engine, now drawing this engine, will suck the air from the atmosphere. Then some criteria will happen inside. Then very hot, very high temperature, very high pressure gases will come out. Once they will come out, then it is like a balloon filled with air. When air leaks from the backside, balloon goes in front direction. In same way, when all the hot gases will eject out from the engine, this entire body will experience momentum transfer in this direction. These guys will come out, so they will be having mass flow rate, and they are coming out with some velocity, so they will be having momentum flow rate. So same momentum will be transferred to the engine also, and this engine will move in this direction. Now the entire engine means this entire engine is trying to move in this direction, but it can't move. Why? Because it is attached with the wing. So if the engine will produce sufficient thrust, then even it can take the wing. But because wing is attached with the aeroplane, the entire fuselage, everything, so if wing will move, then everything will move. So this small engine is capable for this big body to go in this direction. Now see, this engine can be with propeller, can be without propeller. So we have several types of aerospace engines. I will not go into that. Right now, I will explain a very basic jet engine. And after we will understanding this, then we'll take all the important engines, whatever is important for GATE exam. So currently, I will teach you jet engine. In jet engine, what happens? A very basic, a typical diagram for the jet engine, we draw like this. In this part, in the front part, we write diffuser here. After that, we can attach some compressor here, and then we'll be having combustion chamber, and then we'll be having some kind of turbine, and then remaining area will be nozzle. So you can write D here for diffuser, then C for compressor, and combustion chamber CC, or some people say combustor, and then you can say T means turbine, and then you can say N for nozzle. From here, whatever air will enter, that you can say air speed you say as C. When the air speed is going out, I mean whatever jet is going out, that also you say as C. Some teachers can teach by V, but just to avoiding some kind of problem with volume or something, we are using C, because V is the variable for volume. put C1 or CI. Here you put CJ or CE. J means jet speed, E means exit speed. So I will be using CI and CJ. So CI will be here, CJ will be here. You know, you all guys are from different colleges, so your professors will be using different symbols. Now we will see what happens to velocity of this air when it passes through diffuser. As you know that in our atmosphere, a basic jet engine deals with incoming air which has to be subsonic in nature. Subsonic. So you know that shape of diffuser will be like this. When subsonic flow will enter into the diffuser, what will happen? Its speed will decrease in the diffuser. After that, it will go to the combustion chamber. In combustion chamber, what will happen? Actually, compressor. In compressor, what will happen? What is the role of compressor? Compressor compresses the gas. It means it will increase the pressure of the gas. It will not change the velocity. So the job is anyway velocity. If you will talk about very truly, velocity will decrease definitely somewhat. But reality is, main thing of job of compressor is to increase the pressure, not to do something with velocity. So in real case, velocity will definitely decrease, but ideally it will be straight line. Velocity will not change. So suppose from here to here, I am considering diffuser, then compressor, then combustion chamber, then turbine, and this area is nozzle area. Suppose in the beginning you had some velocity, that limit of velocity, just consider 300 meter per second. So in diffuser, velocity will decrease from that level. After that, you can keep a straight line for compressor. So this is diffuser, this is compressor, this is combustion chamber. Now it will go to the combustion chamber, again straight. Now here, when air is going to the combustion chamber, we are not disturbing the velocity of the air. We are just adding some fuel from the combustion chamber, and from this incoming air, we will use the oxygen to burn these fuels. So when fuel and oxygen, they will combine together, they will produce sufficient heat, and this entire incoming air will get heat up, and so temperature will increase. And already by using compressor, you have increased the pressure. Here and here we are not disturbing velocity ideally. In ideal case, we are not disturbing velocity. Then we go to turbine. Again, when the air will fall to the turbine, then turbine will rotate. And again, it will not disturb the velocity, but in reality, little expansion will happen. So little speed will increase. Little expansion will happen. So little speed will increase. Like here, little speed will decrease. In same way here, little speed will increase. So, but ideally, you will not increase the speed. But in reality, little speed will increase. After that, your air will enter to the nozzle. And in case of nozzle, that is the main job of nozzle, to increase the speed. So increase the speed like this. So ideally, compressor and turbine are not made to increase or decrease the speed. They are made for compression and expansion. Now, one small question. I will explain now. Why there is a need of compressor? Why there is need of compressor? So see guys. When you want here very hot gases, that's why you need combustion chamber. You need very compressed gases. Why? Because the balloon concept. If your balloon, you will do so much big, blow the air and make the size so big, and then you leave, then speed of balloon will be faster. But if you suppose this is size 1, this is size 2, this is size 3. For size 1, your balloon will be slower. Why? Because pressure is less. For the size 3, if you leave the balloon, it will go here very fast. Why? Because inside pressure was more. So to generate the pressure, to get here more velocity, we need pressurized air. That's why we are using compressor. Now problem is, because you have used compressor, so to run the compressor, you need some device. Compressor will not run automatically. So that's why we use a device, turbine. Turbine has nothing to do. If somehow we are able to run the compressor magically, then we can quickly remove the turbine from the jet engine and engine will be more lighter. But only to run the compressor, we need some device. So that's why turbine and compressors are connected by shaft. So now question is, how turbine gets power? I mean, how turbine rotates? So when air will come from the combustion chamber, it will hit the turbine. Now see, some of you may be knowing this thing in TV ads or something. You know, in villages, I have done this. I belong to a village. In villages, kids, small kids, they will be having, when you'll go to the mango garden or somewhere, you'll be getting mango leaf, and that mango leaf we cut and we make this kind of shape, and we put one pipe here or something here, and then the air will come and it will rotate like this. So this is nothing but our very basic invention in childhood. This is called turbine. What turbine does? Turbine will be having lot of blades. When the air will fall to the blades, these guys will rotate. The blades will rotate together. And if the blade is started rotating, then I will connect all these blades with the shaft. So the shaft will rotate. And once we got the rotation motion, I can use to run the compressor, or I can use for some other purpose also. So these velocities are coming here and they are hitting the turbine blades, and turbine blades are rotating, and we are using that rotation and transferring that rotation by using the shaft to the compressor. And this is how compressor is rotating. And when compressor is rotating, we are able to compress the gas. Now next question, why do we have combustion chamber? So almost same answer. If you have combustion chamber, then combustion will make your gases more hot. For example, if you have a pressure cooker, in this pressure cooker, you have this type of pressure cooker. If you have normal water and if you have hot steam, who will leave the pressure easily? Hot steam. So hot steam will be having more and more kinetic energy. So just to increase the kinetic energy, that's why we are using combustion chamber, and we are burning the incoming air. So that incoming air we are burning, and turbine over. Now why do we have nozzle? Because we know that this kind of shape, if this is subsonic flow, then this kind of shape can increase the velocity. And once you got the velocity here, then multiply the velocity with incoming masses, you'll be getting momentum. So that much momentum will be transferred to the engine because of these jets coming out. So that momentum will be transferred to the jets, to the this thing called engine, and that engine is connected to the wing. So if engine will go front, this wing will go front, and after that the entire fuselage, entire body will go front. Now that's why Indian made Kaveri engine in ISRO, in DRDO. So that engine is our engine. So let's see, if I will ask one quick question. In ideal case, when air enters to the combustion chamber, velocity increases or decreases? Suraj, can you reply this? So reply. No, velocity will be constant, because in combustion chamber we are just burning the air. We are neither compressing the air nor expanding the air, or we don't have any kind of rotating part. Whoever will come, simply they will just get heat up and they will go in this direction. So velocity will not change in combustion chamber. In ideal combustion chamber I'm talking. Now next question. Tirthraj, you try to reply. What happens to the pressure in combustion chamber? Very tricky question. See man, when you are talking about pressure, you are connecting that pressure with velocity. You know that which pressure we connect with velocity? Only static pressure, right? So if velocity will increase, static pressure will decrease. If static pressure will increase, this okay, like this. But here we are talking about the pressure which this air has got totally because of the compressor. Compressor has pressurized the gas. So that pressure, that gas will enter here. The total pressure will not change. total pressure will not change because we don't have any kind of irreversibility present. You know that P naught will change if and only if there is any kind of irreversibility. So we are considering that this combustion chamber is ideal combustion chamber. We don't have any kind of irreversibility present in the ideal combustion chamber. So P naught will not change. So, and after that, static pressure will also not change because we are not considering any velocity change in the combustion chamber. Okay. Now we come to the point for the turbine. So Ruchika, are you there? Why do we use turbine in jet engine? Very good. So Pavitra, are you there? Why do we use compressor in jet engine? Why there is need to compress the air? Because if the air will be compressed more and more, it will eject the engine faster. Because our all pressure energy will convert into kinetic energy. So if we have more pressure, that is beneficial for us. Okay. Who else is remaining? Prachi? Why do we use diffuser? So this is the only question what I didn't teach till now. Why do I use diffuser? So anyone can try. Prachi, first you try. Try something. Why do we use diffuser? Good try. Okay, Poonam, you try. Almost correct. Means 95% correct answer. See, why do we use diffuser before compressor? Actually, when air will directly hit the compressor, blades may damage. And one more thing, these diffusers are with some inlet guide vents. So that inlet guide vents will be there. That I will teach later. Actually, if the main thing is if the air will directly hit the compressor, what will happen? It will be getting suddenly this much frontal area. So if the frontal area will be more, then we experience more profile drag. I will teach in the aerodynamics types of drag. So I am teaching here profile drag. So because of the shape and size of the body, whatever drag we experience, that is profile drag. Now next, why are we using diffuser in front of the compressor? It is kind of a safety guard for the compressor. At the same time, it is also reducing the velocity. So it is doing two things. It is guiding the air, it is reducing the velocity, and it is being safety for this compressor. At the same time, it is also giving a nice aerodynamic shape in front of the engine. So other air can go smoothly. Okay. The last part, which is very, very easy. Everyone I have. Poonam, why do we use nozzle? Okay, very good. So now where you guys will may fail when they will ask simple question, what is the work of compressor, what is the work of diffuser, velocity will increase or not in ideal cases, velocity will decrease or not in this kind of cases. So now we are going to discuss everything in the graph. So let's understand one small question. I told you that that area problem I will explain in the beginning. You know that length is equal to area into width, AB. Whenever you multiply two things, you get, whenever I have written totally wrong, area is equal to length into breadth. Whenever you multiply length with breadth, you get the area. This is possible for any rectangle. So suppose you have a PV diagram and you have a curve like this, unknown curve, isobaric, isogoric, we are not sure, any unknown curve. And suppose you want to know this area. You check out work formula. Work formula is integration of P dV. You can simplify this formula for understanding purpose. pressure and volume we are multiplying and we are getting work. So I am trying to say that if I will ask area under TS diagram will give you which property? Here area under PV diagram is giving you work, because area is the multiplication of these two people. So whenever you multiply any two people, you get area on their axis. Means if you draw length axis, width axis, then if you draw any curve, then below the curve whatever you get, that is the area. So in same way, work will be pressure into volume. So if you draw pressure axis and volume axis, so you can get work here. Area under the PV diagram gives you work. My question is, if you are drawing area, any curve you are drawing, and you want to find out area under the curve, then this area will represent which quantity? So this is my question. Question is, area under TS diagram will represent some quantity. I want to know the name of that quantity. So see, whenever this kind of question will come in your GATE exam. Sorry. Very good. Very good. So heat transfer is the right answer. How will you reach to this answer? Whenever they are asking area of two quantities, suppose on TS diagram, so multiply T and S. Now you go to your core formulas and you check when you multiply T and S, what kind of answer you are getting. So in second law, change in entropy, dQ by T. So multiply this T here. So T del S gives you heat. So area under TS diagram gives you heat. So everything in jet propulsion, all the parts here, all the part means diffuser, compressor, combustion chamber, then turbine, and then nozzle. We are going to see them in detail just now. We will start with diffuser and we will try to finish this in today's class. See, let's go with TS diagram. So suppose the diffuser I am drawing here. When the air is coming just before the diffuser, the entire air will be at atmospheric pressure. So that I will say as PA. So on TS diagram, when you draw pressure line, it looks like this, pressure line on TS diagram. If your pressure will increase, your line will shift up. So this is your pressure lines on TS diagram. So I have to erase these lines. Okay. So this is an isobaric line. It means here, everywhere pressure is same. So I am drawing isobaric line. This isobaric line is representing this much here, this much value of temperature and this much value of entropy. Add the inlet of the diffuser, whatever condition is, whatever temperature, whatever entropy, that line you will mark here. After that, what will happen when the gas will enter into the diffuser? Okay. Are we supplying any heat into diffuser? No. Is there any rotating part in the diffuser? No. Are we taking work out from the diffuser? No. Are we considering diffuser is ideal or irreversible? So yes, we will consider two cases. In first case, if diffuser is ideal, and then if diffuser is irreversible. Irreversible diffuser means irreversibility means friction will present there. So suppose this is atmospheric pressure. You know that for every atmospheric pressure, for every static pressure, you will be having another total pressure. And you also know that when PA is there outside, this PA will change when air will enter inside. Why? Because in the diffuser, what is happening? Air is getting this kind of shape, divergent shape. So air will slow down. And whenever air slows down, velocity changes. Okay. And static pressure will definitely decrease. I am talking about static pressure. Keep in mind, because I am connecting pressure with velocity. So when speed will decrease, velocity will decrease, static pressure will increase. Which static pressure? Not PA. PA is outside. Inside somewhere I am talking. But if you will consider that this PA by using formula P naught by PA bracket 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square gamma by gamma minus 1. This is MA. MA means outside whatever Mach number it is. So by using this formula, you will find out that this PA is having how much total pressure. So use this formula, substitute PA value here, substitute outside Mach number, and you will be getting total pressure. That total pressure you will draw here, because this total pressure is higher than PA. So P naught you can draw here. Now this P naught you can say as P naught A. Why? Because it is the total pressure for PA. One more thing. You will draw that one straight line you will draw like this. One straight line you will draw like this. This straight line gives you idea that we have considered ideal case. In ideal case, irreversibility is not present and you have not supplied any heat. If you have not supplied any heat and if the process is irreversible, then whatever entropy is here, same entropy will go at this point. So your gas, whatever gas was here, now that gas, I mean that amount of air has gone inside. After reaching inside, that gas will experience total pressure of this much, but same entropy. Now, what if you will consider irreversible case? Then you know that in case of irreversibility, your total pressure decreases. So currently you have some pressure line as P naught A. Then you draw one more pressure line which is less than P naught A. And if you are drawing this P naught A, so that time you will change the name of this. I will change the name later. Now you see there is difference between this line and this line. This line is the line when we are considering our diffuser is ideal diffuser. But you know that in case of irreversibility, total pressure decreases. So this top line will shift little down. It will be like this. At the same time, then your gas will not reach here to here because irreversibility is there. So entropy will change for sure. If entropy will change, it means it will increase. So you will be having some different value of entropy. So you will reach somewhere here. So you can see in the beginning we had some pressure PA and this is a line with pressure P naught A. But in case of irreversibility, we got another pressure. So this I am saying as P naught 1 pressure. And when I will consider ideal cases, then I will use dash like 1 dash, 2 dash like that. And if I will consider real case, then I will use simply 1 or 2 without dash. So right now here I am considering position A because it was outside of the diffuser. Once the gas will start entering to the diffuser, then its pressure will start increasing. Total pressure it will achieve this much. And you see where I am drawing diffuser, there I have to put all the sections. I haven't shown here. Okay. So this is my diffuser, then combustion, like this, like this. So from here to here, this part I am considering as A. This is 1, then this is 2, then combustion chamber, then turbine, and then nozzle. You can use 5 or you can also use E. Okay. So from here to a diffuser. So this is the beginning of diffuser, this is the end of diffuser. So diffuser is being end at point 1. So I will consider this as 0, 1 dash. That is the end point of the diffuser, means gases has reached here. But I will put dash. Why dash? Dash is here. Why dash? Because I have considered ideal case. So this line, straight line, is for ideal case because entropy will be same. Whatever entropy is here, same entropy will be here. But in case of irreversible case, it will turn like this. So because entropy will increase somewhat, so that's why you got new entropy. So they can also ask the diagram itself in the GATE exam. Now see, based on this, we have to frame our formula. Framing formula is very, very easy. You can write the name. See, keep down, take notes. Okay. 0 to, sorry, A to 0 1 dash, this is ideal process. And whatever pressure is here, same pressure is here, same pressure is here, same pressure is here, same pressure is here, because everything is isobaric line. Because that line is isobaric line, so pressure will be same. So this is ideal. Next, A to 0 1. So this point I am saying as 0 1, because that is my real point. In real life, you will reach here. So this is actual process. So ideal process and actual process. Now see, when you are increasing from here to here, or you say from here to here in real life, so what kind of energy is increasing? What kind of energy is increasing? You are changing your pressure, so your pressure energy is increasing. Okay, one thing is clear, that this P naught A is more than P naught 1. It means what? If your diffuser is very good, then this gap will be very less, because less irreversibility will be present. So it means what? Every diffuser has its efficiency, that how much good that diffuser is. So if we want to understand that efficiency of diffuser, then we use our formula for efficiency of diffuser. Now see how to discuss efficiency. P naught 1 minus PA whole divided by P naught 1 dash minus PA. I will explain what is that. This was what we were required. If any machine we are able to make it ideal, then that will be better, right? But in real life, we are able to make only this much. We are able to create pressure only this much. It is because of human achievement, we are not able to catch this much part. Our approach should be like, less reversibility should be there, as less as possible. So means P naught A is our dream line. We want to achieve that, but because of some practical errors, we are getting P naught 1 pressure only. So this much gap is, so actually this much is our real output, what we are getting in real life. So that output I will write in terms of pressure difference. So this pressure minus this pressure will give me this gap, divide by this gap. So that's why I am writing like this. P naught 1 PA. This gap is the actual and this gap is ideal. And always remember, efficiency always comes less than 1 or less than 100%. Efficiency always comes like this. Everyone is clear with the formula of efficiency? Okay. Now see, you make the diagram, you make all these statements, then you write the formula. This is the formula. Now see, this formula is also known as isentropic efficiency for the diffuser. Why? Because we are using this straight line concept, so this is isentropic concept. So you can use, and eta, this symbol is called eta, or you can say this I. So eta or this thing, they both are the symbol for isentropic efficiency. Now this P naught 1 dash is nothing but this top line. So top line you can give one more name, P naught A. Why P naught A? Because this is the total pressure of PA. So first formula should be very clear. Then we go to the compressor analysis. So see, this diffuser part over. What happened? Anyway, so see, this diffuser part over. Now we are entering to the compressor. So from section A to section 1 journey is clear and I explained. Now from section 1 to section 2 journey we will study. Diffuser over, compressor we are dealing with. So when you are entering to the compressor, already you have some situation at stage 1. What situation is that? Now I'll draw TS diagram. Now this is only for compressor, so you will draw one line. This is the inlet of compressor. How much pressure did you achieve at the inlet of compressor? You achieved P naught 1 in real life and P naught 2 dash in P01 dash in ideal case. So we are considering the real case. So P01, so this line is P01. This is the beginning of compressor. Now from compressor, where you want to go? From compressor you want to go to stage 2, which is the beginning of combustion chamber. So after traveling this much, what will be the new pressure, temperature, entropy for the gas? So same way, compressor has the main role to increase the pressure. So this pressure P01 will increase to P02. And see, this pressure is not increasing by the shape of the like diffuser. It is increasing because compressor is rotating inside. So we got pressure P02. After getting pressure P02, suppose you were here with this much temperature and this much entropy. So if you are going here straight, it means your compressor is ideal. But if your compressor is not ideal, if your compressor is actual, in that case your entropy will increase. So your line will be like this. Now some student can think, sir, why are you not drawing below line? Because this pressure P02 dash, if you want me to draw, then try to understand that this P02 pressure was coming because of the in diffuser, because of the friction present in the diffuser. And here I had none other device to compress the fluid, but here compressor is compressing the fluid after all the reversibility. What pressure I am getting, that I am writing here P02. Okay, so that's why this second line will not be available for compressor. So only first line and only second line. One thing will be there directly. This is second stage. So at second stage, whatever pressure you are getting, if you are getting that pressure directly in isentropic way, then 0 to dash. If you are getting like this, then 0 to. So this is your actual, this is your ideal, and you can see clearly. Let me draw like this. Suppose I was here, I am reaching here ideally, and I am going here actually. So see, because entropy is increasing, right, this much, that's why I am landing up here in actual case. So now you come to this point, you come to this point, you see this gap, again come to the same point, but you come here, you see this gap. Again we can find out efficiency for the compressor. So efficiency for the compressor will be, always efficiency should be less than 1. So smaller by bigger, you subtract always. So this point is 0.1, this point is 0.2 dash, this point is 0.2 dash we are using because ideal case, this is original case. So on our t axis, we have temperatures, and on our entropy axis we have entropy. So this 0.1, if you read here, it will be T01. This guy will be T02 dash here, and this guy will be T02 here. So find out this subtraction gap, T02 dash minus T01. Divide this by this gap, T02 minus T01. So this became isentropic efficiency of compressor. So diffuser efficiency clear. Diffuser efficiency we were giving in terms of pressure, and that was also an isentropic efficiency. Now again we are giving efficiency in terms of temperature for the compressor. Now we deal with compressor, and in next class we will deal with turbine and nozzle. Today we will deal with combustion chamber only. Quickly I will finish combustion chamber. See, in case of combustion chamber, whatever pressure will be here, that will write as P02, and whatever pressure will go outside, that we should definitely write P02 if we are considering ideal case, because combustion chamber will not change the total pressure. So in case of combustion chamber, we will be having only one line, and that line, that combustion chamber line will be, you can also draw one more small line because of friction. So this is the real P02, sorry, ideal P02, so P02 dash, and this is the real P02. In case of real P02, because if friction is present in the walls, means irreversibility is present, then in that case, if you had to reach here, you will not reach there, you will reach somewhere here, because entropy will increase. So okay, again this part I will explain properly in tomorrow class. And remaining these two things, I hope you guys are clear with diffuser and compressor. So any doubt from today's class? Yes. Yes, compressor. See, you will be having one line. This I will say as 0, 1 line, because this is the stage when you will cross the diffuser, you will enter to the compressor. So this I said A, this I said 1, and this I am saying 2. So at the exit of diffuser, whatever was the condition, that line I am drawing here, that was 0, 1. And because that is the entrance of the combustion chamber, so this line is for the entrance of the combustion chamber. Okay, so I am considering this was my state, means gas was at this much temperature and this much entropy. Compressor will compress the gas and it will make the new pressurized gas at P02. And if this has done ideally, then you will reach here at this point and you will say 0 dash, because ideally. But if compressor is not ideal compressor, it can't be, it can never, so it will reach here, because your entropy will change, right? So you have to take this entropy point. So this, with respect to this point which is 0, 1, this temperature will be T01. With respect to this point, this temperature will be 0, 2 dash, and with this point 0, 2, like this. So you see this gap and you see this gap. This gap is less, which is nothing but T02 dash minus T01. Subtract this temperature from this temperature, will be getting gap, divided by this part, because efficiency always should be less than 1. That's why less answer by more answer, less answer divided by more answer. So T02 minus T01, there is the efficiency. Is that clear, Suraj? If it is still not clear, then you can give me a call, audio call after the class. I will explain if you have any doubt. Fine. Anyone else? Anyone else? Any doubt? Okay. If no one is having any doubt, then I think we can stop the class. And you guys, if you guys feel any doubt, you can call me. So okay then, bye for today. See you tomorrow, same 6 o'clock, and I will activate remaining mock papers. Fine. Okay, good night. Thank you. Good night.